Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Tuesday Night Principal Chiropractic broadcast, sponsored by DE and Band of Brothers around the world. We got a special guest tonight. Really doesn't need any introduction because everybody knows him from DE platform. But he's lately been doing a lot of prayer for him and his family. It's Eddie Gigliotti. As you know, Eddie's a father of 5. His youngest is new to the family, and we've been praying him up for the New York State to get them to be able to adopt him soon. So I want you all to keep the Gigliotti family in your prayers. As you all know, Eddie's got an amazing wife, Mandy, and 5 beautiful children and a rocking practice and about 8 other businesses they run. They're busy, busy, busy people. He's been in practice 11 years, which is amazing to me. He's been coming to DE for 10 years. And he and I have kind of similar stories how DE changed and helped change the course of our lives. And a lot of people have great testimonials, but when you've gone from outside of DE to inside DE, you realize how much different life can be. And he'll probably share about that. But what an amazing guy. Before we introduce Eddie, let's do some groundkeeping. Today is the 18th of June. The next DE is July 18th, and it's at the, I can't read it right now. It's at the Perimeter Hotel, Marriott Hotel Perimeter in Atlanta. It's a different hotel. So if you haven't booked, make sure you go look for the Perimeter Center in Atlanta, Georgia. If you haven't registered, do so as soon as possible. If you need help, reach out to Kat. If you're a student and you haven't reached out, haven't done it, do it as soon as possible because the time for registration is coming up pretty quick. Then again, that's July 18th to 21st. The next DE is our 60th anniversary gala, and that's the 24th to the 27th. 60 years of this give, love, and serve out of our own abundance with no expectation of return, and the lasting purpose lifestyle that has changed millions of lives. We're going to celebrate it in October, and there is a program, an opportunity to sponsor the program and be in the program sponsorship, and it's up there now. Full page is $550, and then we can have half page for $375 and have a business card for $133. Just be something that have say I was there at the diamond anniversary of DE. What an amazing thing that's going to be. All right, so get registered and get ready for the next DE in July. And then again, we're coming back to Atlanta in October. But before we do, let's give it up for Dr. Eddie Gigliotti from Rochester, New York. And let's hear what this man has to say. It's always impressive. Go ahead, Ed.
Awesome, Andy. Thank you so much for that nice introduction. I think I want to do these calls more often because it's the only time you say really nice things about me. So really appreciate it. But all jokes aside, thank you for having me on here, and I'm hoping to bring value for everybody here. And, a lot of times my talks either get into like science and technique or principle. And today I want it for principle and passion. That's what the focus is going to be. So the one thing that's been on my mind a little bit more than usual in this last couple months to at least few weeks to a couple months is, why do we do what we do? A lot of times there's a lot of people that are in professions and are super passionate about it, but why do we show up every single day? And why do you show up? Why do I show up? I want you to do almost like an introspective search here. Why are you showing up to the office each day to serve? Is it just a job? So many people, when you go in, like for instance, I was looking for sandals today and I went in and I was speaking to some employees, and you can tell when it's just a job and you can tell when someone's really passionate about it. So I want you to think about yourself. Are you just doing it because it's a job right now? Are you sort of in a funk? And we all get there. It's like no judgment. It's I think it's constantly re-dipping ourselves and getting back on purpose. And it's going to wax and wane at certain times. Life gets busy, life gets stressful. But right now, why are you doing what you're doing? Okay? And I was talking to our docs today. We've been actually reading, I got 3 amazing doctors on our team. And today we've been reading over a chapter of Judson's book, Wake Up Humans, every week, and we go over it. And today we were talking about like with one of the chapters, it's like, why is chiropractic so important? And one of the reasons why it's so important is because the commodity we work with is the most important commodity on this planet, in my humble opinion. A lot of times when people come in, their hierarchy of what's important in their life is out of sync, right? They're valuing their money more, right? They're valuing maybe relationships, and that's important, but they're valuing their relationships are really important to them. It could be time. How many times you hear that? I don't have time to come to the chiropractor. I don't have time to do this, right? Or, I don't have the money, but then they have a brand new iPhone and and you know that they're spending money on different things. But the most important commodity on this planet, other than, in my opinion, the relationship with our good Lord, right, is health. Health is the overarching theme of everything else. It's the most important commodity. Nothing else matters. Money doesn't matter, right? Like if you or somebody you love loses health, money does not matter at that point. You're not sitting in the ICU being like, oh, I wish I closed that deal last week, right? Relationships lose significance because when you're really struggling, if you're anything like how I was when I went through my health issues before upper cervical chiropractic changed my life, it's like you focus on yourself. You're just trying to survive every day. How can you give yourself to your family, to your friends, to everybody because you're struggling? You don't have health, right? And also time. It's like health is the enhancer. It could either contract time, you could lose days of your life, or you can increase days in your life when you invest in your health. On top of that, when you are investing in your health, your time's more valuable a lot of times. Like a lot of times you can actually serve more people with your health, right? Or with your time because your health is at a higher level. So what we're able to offer people is health through life expression through the central nervous system. That is no small thing. That's a big darn thing. So it's like when we're talking about why are we showing up every single day, we got to get crystal clear in our mind that it's way more than just helping people feel better, talking with people and having relationships with them in the office, like connecting with them, learning about their family and everything. That's all important. But really, it's if they walk out of our office and they don't get cleared out and they still have pressure on their brainstem or their spinal cord, significant pressure, they're probably not going to have that cleared somewhere else. Right? So it's like what we offer, they can't get somewhere else probably, right? It's unlikely. There may be other amazing chiropractors in your office, but they might not ever go to one if they don't follow through with your office afterwards. They might take a long time because they never got the principle or they never got a life-changing adjustment. And I'm not just saying symptoms, but got pressure off that brainstem or that spinal cord. So I implore you and I challenge you to adopt the principle that we always got to be at our highest level in the office. We always got to strive for that. It's not that we ever achieve it. It's that we're always striving. It's like, how can we be better, right? How can we provide a better service to the people we're serving that are coming in every single day, that are coming, that are missing maybe sporting events, are not going home to their family right away, are taking time off of work. How can we make sure that when they come in, that we've given them the best service possible? And that goes from how we greet them. When they come in, are you teaching your staff that they should look up at every single person that comes in and smile at them? Because that might be the only smile they get. We got Jean who comes in. Jean's 93 years old. She drives, or she might be 94 now. She still drives from 40 minutes away, okay? And Jean comes in. When I see her, I'm working in the back of the office a little bit more now in leadership, but I'll get into that. But when I see her, I offer her an espresso. I love on Jean. Jean's made it clear to us in the past that we're her family. Her closest family members don't communicate with her, and so she loves coming to her weekly appointment to get checked and make sure she's in adjustment. First off, it's offered her an amazing quality of life, even at like 94 years old. Number two, she comes in and she gets loved on by our office, right? So how are we greeting people when they're coming in? How does our facility look, right? How's our office look, right? Do you need an update? Do you need to invest in your office? Do you need new paint? Do you need new carpet? Do you need to dust everywhere, right? How can you make it when people come in, they feel like it's home? They're like, this is the place I should be at, okay? How's our technique? How's our communicate first? How's our technique? How's our communication with people when they come in? And how's our assessment? Knowing when they need to get an adjustment, knowing how to adjust them, and knowing that we cleared them out. Do we have like a pre and post check, or do we have something neurologically based, or do we have some type of measure that we can be like, we know we cleared them out, and we could sleep good at night knowing we did the best we could clearing them out, right? And if you don't have those in your office yet, those are things you can implement. It's not like, oh gosh, I'm not doing that. It's like, what's a small thing you can do tomorrow, or you can say, you know what, next week I'm going to implement it to add even a better service than the great service I'm doing right now. Okay? Because here's the way I think of it. If any of us have ever gone through a significant health challenge, or our family has, right? Which it's part of life. It's like you can invest in your health, but life still happens. But that being said, if you can make your body more adaptable through specific and scientific chiropractic adjustments, you have a much better chance of overcoming the challenge and living life to the fullest, right? I think we can all agree on that. Now, let's say you have to get a significant surgery for you and your family. Who do you look for? I know from experience with my family, when there's been health challenges, right, is they look for the best. We don't say, oh, you know, there's Dr. John Simmons or whoever down the street. Let's go to him because he's close. Nobody ever says that. Everybody says there's so-and-so a state over or 4 hours away that this is all he does or all she does, and they're the best. And that's where I want to go for my family, right? Now think about when you're talking about brainstem pressure on the spinal cord, brain to body communication being shut down. The moment that one organ system shuts down, the central nervous system, is the moment we're no longer on this planet, right? How important is it what we do? Even if these people that come in, that we're blessed to care for, don't know how important it is, we do. So we should provide a service that they're like, I'm blown out of the park. I've never been to another doctor's office like this. I can't believe it. Like, this place is amazing, where they want to tell their friends and their family. So I challenge you, I challenge myself. Let's look at becoming the best at what we do. Whatever that is in chiropractic, when it comes to adjusting, right? Whatever technique you use, work at being the best at it. Work at being that, even if you're whatever demographic group you're serving, that they're like, there's nowhere else I want to go. I want to go and see Dr. So-and-so. I want to go to this office because they are the best at what they do. And I know that they're going to change my life, and they care about me and they love on me, you know? So, and this is the thing, you know, that famous quote from Dr. B.J. Palmer, we never know how far reaching something we think, say, or do may affect the lives of millions tomorrow. I'm going to give you three brief stories, right? Three of many, which I'm sure many people on here, if you've been in practice over a year, will have powerful stories of the miracles of chiropractic. Just the other day, I posted something on Facebook. You could probably see it. I did like a lunch and learn video that we do, like a 15-minute one, but I posted it on Facebook and I boosted it because I want to educate people who are using Facebook on why they should go and see a chiropractor, an upper cervical chiropractor and a chiropractor. And it's just like 10, 15 minutes on the principle of chiropractic. And I've gotten a lot of people liking on it. And I got one guy who commented on it, and he said something to the effect, don't quote me, I can't remember exactly what it said, but it said something like, this stuff really works, helped me with my migraine and vertigo years ago. Dr. Ed fixed me up. That's what he said. And we don't say we fix anyone. The body's self-healing, self-regulating, but that's the way he said it, right? And I looked at the name. I said, I don't know who this guy is. Bevan, who is this guy? I looked yesterday through our Chiro Touch to see who it was. This gentleman came in the beginning of 2017 and came in for like less than 2 months and just flaked off of care. And here's the thing, knowing my personality type, right? When I had we were still serving a number of people then, but back then when there was less patients than we have now, I probably would have taken that personally. Like, why didn't they come in? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why did Bevan just flake off? What happened? And here I am assuming the worst, that he didn't get it, I failed, this and that. But really, he had a life-changing experience with specific and scientific chiropractic care, where his vertigo and his migraines went away. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. In my opinion, I failed him with the principle, right? Or maybe I didn't. Maybe he got it, but he's just not ready to fully accept it at that moment. Like at this point, unless he's getting adjusted specifically, he's more than probably out of adjustment. I think we can all agree on that. But that being said, our care that we provided for him, even that short time, probably had a massive effect on his work, on his relationships, on his time, everything, because he was able to get his quality of life back from being adjusted. Right? Really amazing stuff. So you don't know whose life you're going to change just by showing up the way you're supposed to. Another situation, there's this woman, Connie, who comes in. Connie, 96 years old, gets brought in by her daughter-in-law. When she was 88 years old, was in the hospital. She was read her last rites. A priest came in to read her last rites, and she had C. diff. Okay, so a blood infection. Her daughter-in-law called me and said, "Hey, Dr. Ed, can you please," they text me, they had my number because she paints also. She's painted murals on our wall. So the daughter-in-law. So the daughter-in-law goes, "Dr. Ed, can you please come and check Connie? She's in the hospital. I think she's going to pass away. She's in and out of a coma, but can you please just come and check on her and maybe just help her feel comfortable?" So I went in there, like a lot of chiropractors do who have the principle, like a psychopath, and I had my adjusting instrument in my backpack. And I walked in. I went in. Her whole family was surrounding her. There was probably 8 to 10 family members in there. About 80% of them didn't know anything about chiropractic. They came in from out of state. They came in from Maryland and California. I ended up getting her adjusted. I knew her listing. We had the imaging prior, so she'd been under care for about 1.5 years before that, so we knew her listing. So checked her the best I could with her laying supine in a hospital bed in a coma, got her adjusted. I get a text a few hours later saying, "Dr. Ed, Connie woke up. She's out of the coma." Next day, get a text. "You won't believe it. She's eating on her own. She's conscious and eating on her own. The doctors can't believe it." They read her last rites. Okay. I have no doubt whatsoever that specific and scientific chiropractic adjustment, because I was called to show up there. And I wasn't just called by Wendy. I was called, like the daughter-in-law. I was called by God, right? That it literally saved this woman's life. Now, here's what's really cool. About 2 weeks later, I had been keeping in touch with the daughter-in-laws. She's now at like a rehabilitation clinic just to gain her mobility back, walking and everything. And Connie, I love her. Connie's a sweetheart. And Connie apparently was ruining her daughter-in-law's experience of life because she was just miserable about everything because she couldn't be mobile. So again, she was doing PT, everything. And this is why we got to show up and we got to be so good at what we do. Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't have my table there. The Lord was helping me, and her body's incredible. Got her adjusted. Within 3 days, she was walking on her own, no longer like struggling to walk, and was discharged a very short time after that, right after the adjustment. The PTs couldn't believe it, at the turnaround. It's like we have to be ready to show up for these people coming in. Now, those are 2 stories of people getting their life back. I'm going to give one more story. There's a woman who comes in with her husband. And by the way, Connie's 96, still comes in, doesn't miss a visit. She gets brought in by her daughter-in-law, and she's sharp as a tack. She's like so cognitively there. She's incredible. Now, there was a man named Bob, okay? His wife still comes under care. Bob started care in 2017. Bob was wheelchair bound. He was very vocal. He would yell from the pain he was in. He had pain patches on throughout his body, and he was on some pretty heavy medications. Within 6 months of care, he was walking with a walker out of his wheelchair, and soon after that was barely using a cane. Okay, it was incredible. Now, we were blessed to care for Bob for about 4 years. He was older than his wife, Marge, by I think like 15, 20 years. So he was in his mid to late 80s. And he got his whole quality of life back because the doctors thought he was going to pass away within a year with the state he was in. He lasted like 4 more. Now, I got a call from Marge that, he was going downhill 4 years after, and he was consistent under care. She goes, can you come in to adjust? Same deal. Make sure he's comfortable. I was blessed to be able to go there with the listings. I had the listings from the 3D imaging and the x-rays and got him checked and adjusted. Now, what was really cool is I got a call from Marge the next day and his daughter also. And they let me know that after the adjustment, he was sort of out of it cognitively, and he came back too. He was speaking clearly, and he was able to like communicate with people. His 2 grandchildren were there. They were able to write notes to him on a whiteboard, and he was able to answer yes or no. And he was smiling and he was talking to them. Isn't that incredible? He passed away within 24 hours after that. They didn't know if he was going to even make it that night. But they had about half hour to an hour of him fully cognitively there where they were able to connect with him and with peace know that he was okay and be able to communicate with him before he passed on. Chiropractic is a gift that everybody should experience, and we should be so on fire for it that we let people know so they can live life the way they're supposed to. That the moment they have on here, it's like the time enhancer, the time that they have on this planet, we can enhance that so they can serve other people. Okay? So find a way to serve the principle right now. And now, this was something I wrestled with within the last year or so, and through a lot of prayer and, talking with some really good friends of mine and finding out like which direction I had to go. Serving the principle doesn't have to look the same for everyone. You don't have to feel guilty. Like I used to be in my office 40 plus hours a week, like so many of us, right? Because we're nutcases, chiropractors, men and women, and just serving, adjusting. Now I have, as Andy said, 5 children in the house, all under the age of 9 years old. I have my 8, 6, 4, 3, and almost 2, right? So when I was coming home, I wasn't showing up the way I need to be as a father for my family and be the husband for my wife. So over the last year, I helped create infrastructure in the office where we have 3 other amazing docs in the office who are incredible team members, right? Helping us serve people. So I've been in the back doing leadership, helping develop and grow the team. We have about 6 staff members and the 3 other doctors, and help like creating leaders in our office. So helping them becoming masters at what they do and serving better and becoming and like helping them assess films and look at films and how to adjust better and how to train. And then now I'm adjusting a little bit on the floor, very little, but I'm able to connect with patients still, but I'm able to do it in a balanced way where I was able to free up some of my time and amplify my leverage to help serve the principle. Okay, I had to find my words there. So it's like I'm able to leverage myself to have a bigger effect on society by helping training up leaders so they can clear and adjust other people out. And I can help teach others about CBCT, adjusting, all that stuff. I'm creating online courses through chiroce.com with Rando. So that way we can serve even more people that we might not ever even meet. It's a really cool thing. So find what's right for you. If at this season you just had a child and you're a mother to a child and you need to take some time off for this baby for the first few months, it's like, don't feel guilty. Do what you got to do. God's going to give you the time to serve the way that you're called to serve. If right now your kids just moved out to college and you're ready to dive back into practice and put those hours in, and that's what your heart's feeling and it's fueling you, do it. But we all got to find our way to serve chiropractic because we've been called to this profession. We've been given this profession, and we can't sell out the principle. It's like get extra good at what you're doing because you're going to transform so many lives in more ways you could ever imagine. And another thing that was just a big aha for me, and it might be common sense for you, is when we're talking about serving the masses, is find a way to pair what motivates you in life to serving people. So for instance, it might be that You like looking at your weekly weekly scheduled appointments, and that if you see this number of patients, that's your goal, right? Because each patient you adjust is a life changed. So that might be your motivator. If you're like, hey, I need to see 350, I need to see 450, I need to see 500, I need to see 200, whatever, that's it. And then when you reach that, you raise it higher, or you keep it there. You're happy where you're at, right? But you're serving. It could be that your top line with your finances. When I collect this amount of money, I know I'm doing well because I charge a fair fee. I don't rip anybody off. I'm very honest. And I know that if I collect this fee, if I do check my numbers, I'm going to be serving people the way I'm supposed to, right? If that's what speaks to you, if it's money what speaks to you for one reason or another, right? It could be that you need more equipment, that you want a new x-ray unit, you want a new CBCT unit, you want new tables, you want new instruments, you want to get the interior designed in your office, right? So find what you need to do from a financial standpoint to do that, because if you do that and you do it in an honest and fair way, that you're going to serve more people. So tie it to that. If you want to buy yourself a new car, say, hey, when I get to 400 people a week and I'm doing that for 8 consecutive weeks, I'm going to get that car that I want to do. If I want to pay off my school loans, I'm going to that's what I want to do. And then that if you can do that, that you're probably seeing the people you need to see. There's so many different ways. Get creative, get quiet, figure out what it is. It could be that you want to care for your team. Maybe you have 2 staff members, maybe you have 1, maybe you have 10, and you want to offer them an incredible life. So how can you keep giving them opportunity for growth? The office has to grow, So pair your motivators with the people you serve. Find a way to serve these people that are praying for you, and find a way that gets you invigorated and gets you on fire to do that. Okay, that's one thing that might have been common sense to you, but it was a big aha for me recently. Okay, now that I'm not on the floor as much adjusting, and I'm more behind the scenes, even though I'm there serving in a different capacity. And I want everybody to remember, someone tonight is praying for you to clear them out with specific and scientific chiropractic care. They might not know that's what they need. They might not know yet you're the person. But God knows, and you probably know, even though you don't know them yet. You know that somebody's going to show up. It could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be next month, next year. So show up big. You don't know who that person's going to be. You don't know when they're going to show up, but they're going to show up. So if God's sending them to us, show up big. Just up that notch one more. Wherever you are right now, don't compare yourself to the people around you. Just compare yourself to the person you were today and yesterday and say, can I get a little better? Can I do a little bit more, like with my technique, with my assessment? Not necessarily spending more time, but like with providing a better service, with being a leader in the office. Can I do one more thing that can help transform even more lives better? I hope that you guys found this valuable, and I love and appreciate you, and I thank you so much for joining today. And if you haven't been to DE, get to DE. DE, like Andy was saying, changed both of our lives. And if you do go to DE, keep showing up. Love and appreciate you guys and gals.
You said 2 things I want to remind everybody. One, everybody's different. You have an upper cervical emphasis, right? And I know many times I listen to you talk, I'm like, God, I should delve into that more. And I do feel guilty. I have to admit, 35 years of practice, I still like, I should do that. But then when I start doing that, then I get too much in my head, not in my heart. And I'm like, you know what? I'm okay. I'm on the right path. So no matter what your passion is, be passionate at what you do and your technique. It's not about technique. It's about your passion and bringing it, like you said. And the most important thing you said is right now in everybody's community, there's somebody who's just dreading going to sleep because they got some kind of health issue and they're praying for an answer. And like you said, they may know the answer is chiropractic. They may not have a clue what it is, but they're praying for an answer. And if they walk in our door, or if they answer the call and we're not on our A game, we're going to miss that opportunity to serve at the highest level. That's awesome, brother. You did a great job. Knocked it out of the
Thank
park.
you.
Love and appreciate you, man. Just want everybody to, like he said, yes, get the D, yes, get registered. But main thing is, before you lay your head down tonight, just get quiet and listen. What's God got in store for you? What is your nugget that'll get you prepared to serve bigger and better? Love you, Eddie. Appreciate you, man. And
thanks, man. Love you too.
love you so much. Everybody have a great night and get ready to serve tomorrow.